Today we're satisfying the weebs with some anime model making. This is Groundeffected, my name is your dad, and today we're going to be using some of the simplest techniques you possibly can in order to paint a cool looking model. And obviously I'm already quite a way into this model, so let's just take this back to where it all started and go from there. Yeah, hold this. A really big part of Groundeffected in general is the fact that I'm able to introduce you to new techniques and new ways of doing things in the hobby that you may not have thought of or seen before. And in this video it's going to be no different, and this time I'm introducing you to a new Patreon. A Patreon that focuses on anime and weeby type things. And by weeby, what I mean is the stuff that weebs like. I don't even know what a weeb is or why I'm using that word other than to sound cool amongst the peers of the children, basically. This is their work and they are a new Patreon on the block, so they have not got the most amount of subscribers yet. But we're gonna change that, because if you are an anime fan, this is your chance to join up to Bamboo 3D Studio. Of course, this video was sponsored by them, but for as little as $11 a month, you can be one of their first supporters on their Patreon and get them to make their dreams and your dreams come true. Now, we've got the ad part of this video over with, let's get into painting and making this model. I'm just gonna tell you right now, I'm an idiot. This specific part of the video actually is the part where I proved my idiocracy, and that is because the flames attached to these swords are meant to be purple. I did not look at the reference, I thought I knew better, and I'm an actual idiot, so I apologize for that right now. But if you ever wanted to paint red flames coming off of some swords, this is a very good portion of the video to watch for that. Other than that, I'm gonna hang my head in shame and just move on. And this is because, due to time constraints, I only noticed that they were meant to be purple this minute, and this minute is actually the day before upload of this video, and I do not have time to go back to it, so we shall just push on and pretend it never happened, and I will show you everything else I used to paint the rest of this model. Starting with the base, what we're going to do is give it a little bit of color before we start to add any texture to it. Now, there is a load of sculpted texture on the base, and to bring that out, we're going to use some dry brushes. You could very easily use a cheap makeup brush for exactly this specific thing. I will just caveat that with the fact that these Artist Opus brushes do a fantastic job of picking up the details very nicely, as well as being kind of an overbrush in a way. If you notice, there is a lot of paint coming off my brush. That is because I'm using it almost like a brush with maybe just a little bit less paint than a normal brush, but it's basically paint I'm painting. I'm not even dry brushing at this point, and that is a good thing with those particular brushes. Another thing is, you may notice I've changed now to the bigger brush, and that is because I felt I was loading my brush too much, and I didn't want to ruin my very expensive Artist Opus brushes. So I went with my cheap £2 makeup brush that I got from down the road, because I didn't mind if I ruined that brush, but I wanted to come back later and I will catch the edges very carefully with my Artist Opus one, because it just does a better job of grabbing the edges. Now I'm using some blue in the shadows of this, even though I'm going to tint this brown later. This blue will just help to serve as a deeper shadow in the shadows. That's because blue is a very good color for shadows. If you're ever wondering how you can tint your base or anything really to go a little bit deeper in the shadows, blue is a very good option for that. Now that I added that extra layer of a grey over the top of everything, you can tell that this changed the tone of things. But this is because I'm going to come back in using some brown washes, and I'm going to completely tint everything that I painted before. All the blues will still remain somewhat of a blue, but they're not going to be as blue, and all the greys are going to disappear and become brown. The brown is going to go over the grey almost as if it is a perfect undercoat for a color on the top. And speaking of undercoats, that is where I put an undercoat on this knot thing so that I could use red over the top of that undercoat with a brush, and this came out as smooth and as perfect as it possibly could. However, I needed to add some shadows to that, and this is going to be quite hard to spray on, but if I use something like this Drift Charger Grey, it's grey but it's bluey, so it gives a shadow to both the red and the white equally, but while it goes over the red, it looks like it's a slightly different color to what it looks like over the white, and so that gives me some depth in this knot thing, and I can now pretty much call the base done. And now that you're caught up, let's carry on with the rest of the things we need to do. I need to paint this body, but also I've got a whole load of these little swords on the base, and I'm going to be totally honest, I do not want to paint each individual diamond inside of the handle one by one, because that's going to take me forever, and who even has forever? So for now, let's just deal with that body, and once the body is done, we can work out what we're going to do with them freaking swords. And while I look back at this footage, I absolutely am hanging my head in shame at the fact that I didn't paint those stupid flames purple. I'm just going to move on and stop reminding you about it, because otherwise I'm going to feel even dumber than I already am for doing it. Now, you may have noticed that I put a base color of grey on these model parts at first, and this is because these parts need to appear to be white. So I used a load of different colors like deck tan, and I used this whatever that color is that I used, and then I sprayed them until they look kind of white. And while I was using that color, which I used for the base coats of the knot, by the way, and I still can't remember what it's called, but we won't worry about that either, I used that as my zenithal instead of white ink. This just shows that you don't need white ink. White is not the only way, but it is one of the ways to do a zenithal. Speaking of white ink, I could have just used white ink, but I only realized I was going to use that by the time I'd realized this was not white enough, and I used Drift Charger Grey for the shadows of that, and then white in the highlight areas. And what you may notice is it's not completely white, but it does appear to look like it is white. Now I'm moving on to the skin tones, and with the skin tones I'm going to do a similar thing with everything else, and I'm going to spray a color that I call pinkle, which is really just a made up word that I made up for the color that is not purple and it's not pink. It's the color in between that makes it pinkle. I spray that over all the highlighted areas, and then I spray a red ink into the shadowed areas. This gives me a lovely grape to start my skin tones on when I'm ready. And while my grape dries, I can start working on the rest of the model parts, and that's going to lead me to painting the pants, which I used Luftwaffe Grey, and I sprayed that into the highlighted areas, which made me feel like it was way too blue, and it was not the right color, so I sprayed some black back into the shadows to save myself from looking like a schmuck. Next thing I'm gonna do is paint on the white shoes that are meant to just be white, so I just use a neutral grey to paint the laces of it and some around the rim, and then I use Drift Charger Grey to paint the little lines, the crevasses on the shoes that make it look like shoes, I guess. Now at this point of the video, if I actually used the name of this color, I would make myself look like a schmuck. And I don't want to look like a schmuck. I already done that by painting the flames the wrong color. So the color that I will not name is what I used to paint the belt around this character. That is because it looks like it's white, but it's not white, but it's close enough. Speaking of white, I am going to use an actual white around the rim on this torso section. And if you look carefully, you saw me spray white ink onto this model. It should should be white, but it's not white, and that white stands out like a sore thumb. This is the exact reason that anyone who paints models will tell you never use white, because white is the absolute of color. It's the last, final, brightest highlight that you'll ever have, and if you use it, you've wasted an opportunity to push your values even more. In my case, I didn't need to worry about that because that is going over an area that, yeah, let's not get too involved with that, and let's move on to the skin tones. And what you can see is that after I have a grape, I just need to spray one skin tone over the top of that, and it already looks like I have a human in my hands. I'm not going to stop there though, and I'm going to move on to another color, which is going to be basic skin tone, and I will spray that over the top of this. This time I'm focusing a little bit more smaller. I'm focusing just on the highlight areas, and the paint is thinned down about 50-50 with just plain water. I'm then going to use Orchis to spray into the shadows, and this is going to help bring back some of the color, because those colors that we use are mixed up in such a way that they make the things appear a little bit desaturated. So Orchis just kind of brings that color back into the skin and makes them not look so dead. Now I'm going to paint the sword, and if you notice, I need to mask off the hand because I don't want to ruin all those skin tones I painted, so I just use a tissue and covered the hand with the tissue and sprayed the sword. As simple as that. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Next step is to paint the eyebrows, and that was done with just a black. I'm going to then use grey-green to give a highlight to the hair, which I thought was probably a little bit too stark when I was done with it, and then I tried to wash it by using a panel line wash, and this was a mistake, so I ended up having to come back and spray that highlight back onto the hair again because I just lost it all by doing this. Now, as this is an anime character, I figured in my head it made sense to paint his eyes as white as I possibly can, as big and as bold as I can as well. I also retained quite a lot of the black around the outside of the eye, and this was to shape them kind of like they had black outlines around them. And while those whites of the eyes dried, I then quickly painted his lips using a bit of Magos purple. This just helps to make things look more like lips, I guess. His eyes, I have absolutely no idea what color they are meant to be, and in the references that I found, I only noticed that his eyes were actually like a grey. That's all I could figure out, was that they were grey, so I painted them with black and then used grey-green to paint the highlight color of the eyes. I don't know what color his eyes were meant to be, and so if this is wrong, well then just chalk it up with the sword issue, okay? It's not my fault, I'm not a weeb. Anyway, I'm gonna paint in the pupils of the eye, and then a very big fat highlight this time, because these are nice big eyes, and anime has a lot of bright highlights, especially in the eyes of the characters. At least that's my opinion of things. See in the background? See, I was doing reference. At this point, I don't know how I did not figure out that the sword frickin' flame color. Calm yourself, and let's move on to painting arguably the most time-consuming part of this model, and this is the little diamonds on the insides of the swords. And bear in mind, there are hundreds of these swords on the base, so let's just talk about it. With the knowledge of the fact that I had a billion swords to do, what I decided to do to paint this was to paint all the inner diamonds black first, and then come back, and if I was careful enough with that black and didn't go too far out the lines, I could carefully shape the red around the black, making it look like I put more attention in. So it's a new day. Yesterday was actually Sunday, and I was here till late figuring out what I needed to figure out with painting the rest of the model. And I had managed to get quite far yesterday. The only thing that I have left to do now is the swords in the base, and I was quite unsure how I was going to do that before, but now I've figured it out since I've done the sword on his hand, and I know exactly the process I need to do. It's just that there are about 14,000 of them, and I now need to just do it. Very importantly, with silver you want to have something like a black base underneath of it. So the first step is to paint all of these clear swords black first. Once they were dry, it was easy enough to come back with silver and paint all the sharp parts of the swords with the silver. This would now stand out nice and bright and loud and proud on top of the black, and then I would have to come back and paint all the rims and edges that needed to be gold with the gold, and the gold that I'm using is literally just the Games Workshop. I think it's Retributor armor. It's not the best gold in the world, but it works. The next step would be then to take the black on the handle back to a white, or at least a light color, and I used Decktown for that. And then I did the same process for the hand sword, and I did that by painting all the little black dots and then painting the red, because that way I could shape it. And then I used Agrax Earthshade and I sprayed that into the shadowed areas to make it look like it had a little bit more substance in the shadows, and like I put more attention into the detail. I can then put them on the base and call the model done. Yes, I know, I absolutely bodged the fact that the color of the flames are wrong. I don't even care. At this point, it's too late now. There's no ways I could ever go back. It drives me absolutely nuts, but if I close my eyes, then it doesn't matter anymore. So, if you would kindly close your eyes right now and click the subscribe button, don't worry about what you saw, share this video with the gram. That would be very helpful for me. As you may notice, my number is very close to 100,000 subscribers. Unless you are watching this in the future and I already have 100,000 subscribers, then click the subscribe anyway, because then I would have one more subscriber, and that is fantastic. I would like to say very special thank you to my Patreons for supporting me over on Patreon. By the way, there is a massive shake-up going on in the Patreon, so if you are interested in supporting me over there, then now is the time to go join up and get whatever it is that you get. I don't even know. At this point, just go look and check in the description, and check in the description for the sponsor of this video as well, because please, support them. They support me, and you should in turn support them for supporting your favorite artist, which is me, obviously. Click subscribe and like, and if you didn't like anything you saw, I don't care. Fuck off.